thing about it, I don't care who he be with. It's just the fact that he cared who I was with. He cared who I was with, what I was doing up, and what I was saying. I say, this start me out. What? What the? My back I still have to go to the hospital. Bro, I told my brother. Then I told my brothers that's locked up. You lucky my brother's locked up. They would have killed you.
No one, not the fans, not the bloggers, not the messy Instagram pages that live for chaos, was prepared for what happened the night Chrisean Rock walked into BlueFace's house and found Hazel-E lying exactly where no woman should ever have been. Not in the studio, not in the kitchen, not in the living room, but in his bed, his actual bed. And the look on her face when Chrisean pushed the door open. That smirk, that "I'm not even getting up" attitude. That was the match that ignited the kind of explosion the internet still isn't recovered from. Because this wasn't just betrayal. This wasn't just disrespect. This wasn't just two women beefing over a man who's burned bridges with both of them. This was personal. This was layered. This was loaded with history, ego, competition, revenge, and a story the world had no idea was boiling underneath the surface. But let's start with the moment the world saw. Chrisean standing in the hallway, chest rising, hands shaking, eyes narrowing. The kind of slow, dangerous freeze that comes before a storm. Not loud, not dramatic, not chaotic, silent. The kind of silence that tells you a hit is coming before a word is said. She didn't run. She didn't scream. She didn't break anything. She just stared at Hazel-E lying comfortably on the bed, scrolling her phone like she owned the house. Hazel didn't flinch, didn't cover herself, didn't try to explain. She just looked up and smiled. That smile alone could have started a war, and Chrisean said the softest, coldest words the internet has ever heard from her. "So, this what you on?" Hazel didn't move, didn't sit up, didn't show even 1 ounce of fear. Instead, she tilted her head and said, "He told me to wait right here." That sentence broke something inside Chrisean. It wasn't the words. It was the tone. That calm, smug, "you can't do anything to me" tone that only shows up when someone is confident they're protected, either by the situation, the man, or the clout they think they have. And in that split second, Chrisean's heart didn't just break. It detonated. Because if Hazel-E was in that bed, comfortable, unbothered, unshaken, then that meant she wasn't surprised to see Chrisean. She was expecting her, and someone somewhere had planned this moment. You could feel the tension in the room shift, thick, heavy, electric, suffocating, the kind of tension that cameras don't capture. The kind of tension that only happens when two women who hate each other realize they've been lured into the same cage. Chrisean walked in slowly, eyes locked on Hazel like a predator tracking prey. "Get out the bed," she whispered. Hazel-E didn't move. "Make me." And that, right there, was the spark. Because everyone knows one thing about Chrisean Rock. You can insult her. You can talk about her past. You can talk about her career. You can even talk about BlueFace. But the second you disrespect her face to face, the second you talk crazy while sitting in a bed she once cried in, the second you try to challenge her womanhood with that arrogant little smirk, it's over. There's no talking, no arguing, no interview, no explanation. It's action. Pure, unstoppable action. And Hazel-E knew that, but she genuinely believed Chrisean wouldn't touch her. Wrong. Chrisean took exactly 2 steps forward. Hazel sat up, threw her phone on the pillow, and smirked again. "You mad he upgraded?" End of discussion. Chrisean didn't scream, didn't cuss, didn't say a word. She swung. A clean, sharp, devastating hit that connected so perfectly the sound echoed through the entire hallway. Hazel's head snapped sideways, her phone slid off the pillow, and her smirk vanished instantly. And here's the craziest part. Before Hazel could even react, Before she could shout, block, push, or defend, Chrisean hit her again. Harder. Hazel-E scrambled, stunned, trying to get out of the bed, but Chrisean grabbed her by the wrist and said through clenched teeth, "That's my bed, my space, my memories, my pain. And you think you gonna disrespect me in it?" Hazel screamed, "He said he don't want you." But Chrisean didn't stop, because this moment wasn't about Blueface, not anymore. This was years of humiliation, years of betrayal, years of being disrespected by people who thought she was easy to break, years of watching girls walk in and out of Blueface's world, acting like they could replace her pain, her loyalty, her history. And Hazel-E? She was the final straw. The fist that landed next sent Hazel collapsing onto the floor, hair everywhere, lashes crooked, pride shattered. She tried to crawl away, but Chrisean grabbed her ankle and pulled her back like she wasn't letting anyone run from consequences today. Hazel shouted, "You crazy! You crazy!" But Chrisean said something the camera didn't fully catch, something that made Hazel's eyes widen in fear. "You don't know what I lost in this bed. Don't come in here acting like you earned anything." And then, silence. Because in that moment, in that room with Hazel shaking and Chrisean breathing heavy and the air thick with tension and secrets, something clicked. This moment didn't just happen. Hazel being in that bed wasn't random. This was set up, planned, executed. Someone wanted this fight. Someone wanted this explosion. Someone wanted both women to look crazy. And the person behind it was still in the house, watching, waiting, smiling. And the second Hazel muttered, "He told me you'd react like this." Everything changed. The real story was just beginning. What happened in that bedroom didn't start in that bedroom. It didn't start when Chrisean walked in. It didn't start when Hazel-E smirked. It didn't start when Blueface left the door open. It didn't even start with the relationships, the arguments, the rumors, or the jealousy. This moment, this explosion, was years in the making. Because if you really want to understand why seeing Hazel-E in that bed broke something inside Chrisean, you have to look at the history behind the bed itself. Not the room, not the furniture, not the mattress, the bed. The bed where she cried after finding out he had cheated. The bed where she waited for him to come home knowing he was with someone else. The bed where she wrote songs out of heartbreak. The bed where she slept alone while hearing his voice downstairs with other women. The bed she tried to hold on to even when she was losing herself. It wasn't just a bed. It was a grave of memories, and Hazel lying in it, calm, comfortable, unbothered, wasn't disrespect. It was annihilation. But let's rewind. Long before the smack that shook the internet, long before the chaos, long before Hazel-E even entered the picture, something else was happening behind the scenes. Something nobody knew. Something that made Hazel's presence in that bed way too convenient, way too suspicious, way too perfectly timed. Because this wasn't random, this was orchestrated. And the first person who needs to be examined is the one who benefits the most from chaos, Blueface. People forget that chaos is his oxygen. He doesn't breathe without it. He doesn't function without it. He doesn't feel relevant unless women are fighting over him, defending him, crying about him, chasing him, arguing online about him. Every time his name starts to fade, a fight, a baby mama argument, a diss track, a live stream meltdown, a new girl in his bed. He refuses to be irrelevant, and the one woman who always generates the biggest reaction, Chrisean, he knows it, the world knows it, Hazel knew it too. But this time was different. This time someone else pushed the pieces into place. Hazel didn't end up in that bed because Blueface liked her. She didn't end up in that bed because she was invited romantically. She didn't end up in that bed because she won. She ended up there because someone wanted her there. And that someone was studying Chrisean like a scientist studying fault lines on an active volcano. Someone who waited for the exact moment she was emotionally unstable. Someone who waited for the exact moment she was exhausted. Someone who waited for the exact moment she was vulnerable. Someone who waited for the exact moment she was alone. someone who waited for the exact moment she was close to breaking. Because when Chrisean walked into that house that night, she wasn't coming to fight. She was coming to talk. She was coming to see if she and Blueface could at least have a conversation without the world watching. She was coming to see if she could get closure or answers, or maybe just a few minutes of honesty from the man who kept hurting her. But someone made sure that conversation never happened. Someone made sure she saw Hazel first. Someone made sure the one image that would destroy her completely was waiting behind that bedroom door. This didn't start with Hazel. It started with the night before, a night Chrisean will always remember. Though she didn't understand what it meant at the time, she received a message from someone she thought was neutral, someone who had been floating around Blueface's circle for months, someone who acted like they didn't take sides. The message said, "You should go see him tomorrow, he wants to talk." At first she ignored it. She didn't want more drama, but the message came again and again, each time phrased slightly differently. "He said he misses you. He said he wants to see JR. He said you guys should talk alone. He said the door will be open. He said he'll be in his room waiting." Looking back, it was too precise, too detailed, too scripted, almost like someone wanted to make sure she walked into that room. She didn't tell anyone she was going, not friends, not family, not social media, nobody, which means the only people who knew she would show up were the people feeding her the messages. And Hazel didn't post that she was at his house, didn't go live, didn't drop location, didn't say a word. Because Hazel wasn't forced to be in that bed. She was placed there. More importantly, someone knew exactly when Chrisean would walk in. Someone texted Hazel. Someone told her to get comfortable. Someone told her exactly what to say. Remember Hazel's smirk? Remember the line? "He told me to wait right here." Now think about the phrasing. She didn't say, "He invited me." He wanted me here. He said, "Come over." She said, "Wait right here." Meaning Hazel wasn't there to see him. She was there to be seen by Chrisean. Hazel isn't smart enough to pull off psychological warfare like this. She's messy, petty, impulsive, but she's not strategic. So who was the strategist? Who orchestrated the perfect ambush? Who sent the messages? Who put Hazel in that bed? Who left the door open? Who whispered, "Don't move," when she comes in, "Let her see you"? There are 3 suspects in this story, but only one of them has the motive, the intelligence, and the cruelty to pull it off. Blueface's sister, the same sister who hates Chrisean more than anyone, the same sister who tries to embarrass her publicly, the same sister who blames her for every problem, the same sister who desperately wants to replace her in Blueface's lab, the same sister who tried to involve herself in the DNA situation, the same sister who benefits the most from chaos. But she didn't plan this alone. She needed someone unstable enough to be her pawn, someone jealous enough to cooperate, someone petty enough to enjoy causing pain, someone who wants fame desperately. That's Hazel-E, and she needed someone weak enough to leave his door open, someone selfish enough to watch 2 women fight over him, someone who loves the attention more than peace. That's Blueface. And she needed someone emotionally fragile enough to be manipulated into walking into the trap. That's Chrisean. It was a 3-layer setup. Layer 1, tell Hazel exactly when to be in the house. Layer 2, tell Chrisean Blueface wanted to talk. Layer 3, make sure Blueface didn't stop any of it. Because the sister knew exactly what would happen. She knew Chrisean would snap. She knew Hazel would act tough. She knew Blueface wouldn't protect anyone. She knew a fight would break out. And she knew it would go viral. Why? Because every time Chrisean goes viral, Blueface profits, Hazel trends, blogs explode, she gets attention, the family gets clout, the narrative shifts, and Chrisean looks crazy, which is exactly what they wanted. But what the sister didn't calculate was this. She underestimated Chrisean's ability to notice patterns. She underestimated how much pain Chrisean has been holding. She underestimated how close Chrisean is to snapping in a way nobody can control. She underestimated the one thing that defines Chrisean Rock. When you betray her too many times, She stops crying. She stops blaming herself. She stops fighting emotionally. And she starts watching, observing, connecting dots, turning quiet. And quiet Chrisean is the most dangerous version of her, because right before Chrisean knocked Hazel out, she said a sentence the internet overlooked. This ain't even about you. She wasn't talking to Hazel. She was talking to the person who set it up, the sister. And she was right. The fight wasn't about infidelity, wasn't about Hazel being in the bed, wasn't even about Blueface. It was about the sister trying to provoke Chrisean into losing control so she could finally say, "See? She's crazy. See? She's violent. See? She shouldn't be near JR." This wasn't a fight. This was a trap. And Hazel was just the bait. The moment Hazel hit the floor, everything in the room changed. Not the sound, not the lighting, not even the air, the energy, the temperature, the pressure. It all shifted so fast and so violently you could feel it in your bones. Hazel wasn't just hurt, she was shocked. Like she had just realized she wasn't the main character in this story, she was the pawn. She held her cheek, eyes wide, lips parted, looking up at Chrisean with a mixture of fear, confusion, and for the first time, clarity. Because right then, she understood something she should have known from the start. She wasn't supposed to win this fight. She wasn't supposed to get Blueface. She wasn't supposed to humiliate Chrisean. She was placed in that bed to get hit. She was bait, a setup, a trigger. Someone used her like a chess piece, just like they used Chrisean. And the first twist starts right here. Hazel realized it. She looked up at Chrisean, her voice trembling, and whispered, "He said you'd react crazy. They told me you would." Chrisean froze. Her friend behind her whispered, "Who told you?" Hazel shook her head, coughing, dragging herself up halfway. They said you were unstable. They said if I did this, you'd embarrass yourself in front of him. They said..." She stopped talking suddenly. Her eyes darted toward the hallway. Fear, real fear. Chrisean grabbed her arm. "Who told you?" Hazel swallowed hard. She said, and then her eyes widened again like she'd revealed too much. Footsteps, slow, deliberate, familiar. Chrisean's spine straightened. Her heartbeat got louder, because she knew those footsteps. Before she saw her, before she turned, she knew who it was. Blueface's sister, standing in the doorway with her arms crossed, leaning on the frame like she had been waiting for her cue to enter the scene, a smirk on her face, not even pretending to hide the satisfaction. "You done?" she asked, looking directly at Chrisean. Hazel scrambled back on her elbows like a scared child. Chrisean's friend whispered, "She was here the whole time?" And the sister responded, "Of course I was." Not defensive, not surprised, not trying to deny anything, confident, almost proud. Chrisean took a step forward. "What did you tell her?" The sister shrugged. "I told her the truth, that you were gonna act crazy, that you were gonna snap, and look at you." She motioned toward Hazel, bleeding and trembling. "You proved me right." Chrisean's breathing got heavier, louder, more dangerous, because now the game wasn't hidden. It wasn't subtle, it wasn't whispers and anonymous messages. It was open. The sister stepped inside fully, closing the door behind her. "You know what's funny," she said. "You walked right into the trap. You think you can just walk back into this house, talk to my brother, pretend like you still matter? Girl, please." She laughed. "You fell for everything." Hazel gulped. "You told me to be in the bed." The sister rolled her eyes. "Yeah, and what? You ain't got a brain? I said lay there and wait. You did it. That's on you." Hazel's face collapsed. She realized she had been used worse than she thought. "But you said he..." "Oh, shut up," the sister snapped. "He don't want you either. You a prop. A decoy, a free episode." Chrisean's friend whispered, "She planted Hazel. She manipulated both of you." The sister smirked. "And I did a damn good job." Then she looked right at Chrisean. "You know why? Because you're a liability." Chrisean stepped closer. Say that again. The sister didn't blink. You are a liability. She walked slowly, circling Chrisean like a shark. Every time you show up, drama happens. Every time you breathe, the blogs post. Every time my brother moves on, you show up crying, yelling, fighting, breaking stuff. Chrisean clenched her fists. You set me up. I protected my family, the sister snapped. You think you're the only one with feelings? My brother trying to get his life together. He don't need you pulling him back. Chrisean took one more step. And Hazel in the bed was part of that? The sister smiled dangerously. You were supposed to see her. You were supposed to lose your mind. You were supposed to hit her. And guess what? She pointed at Hazel. You did. Hazel whispered. You promised you'd back me up. You said you'd make sure he saw us together. The sister scoffed. Girl, stop. You're just content. All you were supposed to do was piss her off. The rest is on you. Hazel's eyes filled with tears. You lied to me. I lie to everybody, the sister said, especially stupid people. But then, the real twist. Hazel crawled backward toward the wall, shaking her head. No. You told me she was going to hit me. You told me to make it obvious. You told me to smirk. The sister didn't deny it. So, Hazel's voice cracked. You said if she hit me, she'd lose custody of her baby. Dead silence. The entire room froze. Chrisean blinked slowly. What did you say? Hazel wiped her cheek. She said the moment you hit me, she was calling CPS. Everything inside Chrisean's chest dropped. Her stomach twisted. Her heartbeat thundered. Her breathing stopped. Her friend grabbed her arm. Rock, don't move. But Chrisean couldn't hear anything except one sentence echoing in her skull. She said if you hit me, she was calling CPS. The sister smiled wider. Yeah, so what? Chrisean stepped forward slowly, dangerously. You were going to call CPS on me over a fight you started. The sister shrugged. You should have controlled yourself. Hazel's voice cracked. You set us up to fight. I encouraged you, the sister corrected. There's a difference. Then she turned to Chrisean, smirk fresh, voice dripping venom. You want to know why? Chrisean's voice trembled with rage. Tell me. The sister leaned forward, inches from her face, and whispered, because I want your son gone. I want him out the picture, out the chaos, out of you, and I want my brother back. The room went silent. Hazel's mouth fell open. Chrisean's friend gasped. But the sister wasn't done. You losing your baby is the only way this family gets peace. That's when Chrisean snapped. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She didn't hit anything. Her face went cold, emotionless, dead calm, a kind of calm that's worse than rage. She whispered, Say that again. The sister smiled. I want CPS to take him. Hazel flinched. Even she knew the sister crossed a line. Chrisean stepped forward, fists tightening. You're evil. I'm strategic, the sister corrected. You're unstable, you're emotional, you're dangerous. And when CPS sees the video of you attacking Hazel, they'll agree with me, Hazel gasped. You recorded it. Of course I did, the sister grinned. I record everything. Chrisean's friend whispered, Rock, she has footage. Hazel screamed, You used me for evidence? The sister shrugged. You should have read the fine print before you let me put you in a bed. Then she tapped her phone. And the moment I press upload, your life ends. Chrisean whispered, You think you can scare me? No, the sister said. I already won. And then her phone buzzed. She looked down, and the smirk fell off her face. Someone had texted her, Don't post that video, we know what you did. Her eyes widened. Then another message, Check your car. She froze. Chrisean stepped closer. Who texting you? The sister looked terrified now. Another message, You think you the only one who records? Then, Hazel wasn't the only camera in that room. Hazel gasped. Chrisean's friend whispered, Oh my God, someone else recorded it. The sister swallowed hard. Who sent this? And then the final message came through. You set her up. Now we set you up. Welcome to your downfall. The sister dropped her phone, her face drained. She wasn't the puppet master anymore. Someone else was pulling strings. Someone bigger, someone smarter, someone in the house, someone who recorded everything, including her admitting the whole setup. Chrisean's voice was ass. Looks like you not the only one with receipts. The sister stepped back. Who is it? Who recorded me? Chrisean smiled coldly. That's the real twist. And the story cuts to black. For a moment, no one breathed. Not Hazel, whose mascara streaked down her face in chaotic lines. Not the sister, whose bravado evaporated the second those messages began hitting her phone like warnings from a ghost. Not even Chrisean, whose entire body went still, not weak, not scared, just still. The kind of stillness that happens right before someone sees the truth clearly for the first time. The phone on the floor buzzed again. Another message, another vibration, another warning. The sister didn't dare pick it up. Her hands hovered, shaken, unsure whether touching the phone would give her answers or destroy her. Hazel, clutching her jaw, whispered, "Someone else was here." Chrisean's eyes narrowed, scanning the room, not the obvious places, but the corners, the shadows, the places where intention hides, the places where someone could stand, record, and wait. Her friend whispered behind her, "Rock, who had reason to film this? Who wanted her caught instead of you?" That was the real question. Not who recorded the fight, not who sent the messages, not who warned the sister, but who wanted the sister exposed. Because this footage wasn't an accident. It was retaliation, switching the trap on the trapper. The sister finally forced herself to pick up her phone, swallowing hard, fingers trembling as she unlocked the screen. The moment she saw the preview of the next message, her knees actually buckled. It was a video of her, standing at the doorway earlier, giving Hazel instructions, telling her exactly how to pose, telling her exactly what to say when Chrisean entered, telling her exactly when to smirk, telling her exactly what lines to use to provoke a reaction, word for word. Angle perfect, audio perfect, lighting perfect, timing perfect. Someone filmed her entire setup. Every piece of manipulation, every order, every lie, every tactic. Hazel gasped when she saw herself in the clip. That's me in the bed." But then the camera panned, revealing the sister clearly. "Clean audio. Lay there and don't move. When she comes in, don't act scared. You need to look like you belong here, got it?" Hazel covered her mouth. Chrisean's friend whispered, "They caught everything. This isn't rumor level. This is evidence." The sister's face went white. She looked up at Chrisean with something she'd never shown before, fear. You did this," she stuttered. "You set this up. You recorded me." But Chrisean shook her head slowly. "I didn't record anything." "Then who?" the sister snapped desperately, voice cracking. And then, from the hallway, a door creaked softly, all eyes whipped toward the sound. Slow footsteps, measured, calm, not sneaking, not hiding, walking with the confidence of someone who knew they held all the cards. Hazel's breathing quickened. The sister backed up against the dresser. Even Chrisean tensed, not in fear, but in expectation. Someone stepped into the doorway, someone none of them expected. Someone who never got involved in their drama. Someone who never chose sides publicly. Someone who everyone assumed stayed out of the mess because he didn't care. But the truth, he cared so much he watched silently, observed quietly, studied everyone's moves, waited for the right moment. BlueFace's brother, the quiet one, the strategic one, the one with the temper people underestimate. The one who stays behind the scenes until he doesn't. The one the sister always feared because he didn't play by her emotional rules. The brother who had cameras installed around the house to keep track of everything because he didn't trust anyone anymore. And tonight, he had footage of every lie. He stepped in, hands in his pockets, gaze locked on his sister. "You really thought you were smart," he said quietly. You really thought no one saw you." The sister's voice cracked. What are you doing here?" He tilted his head. "Watching you ruin the family name? Again." Hazel whispered, He recorded everything?" The brother didn't look at her. He only watched his sister collapse mentally. "You told everyone Rock was crazy," he said. "You told the family she was a threat. You told blogs she was unstable. You tried to get her locked up. You tried to get her child taken. But the whole time?" He held up his phone. "You were the one orchestrating the chaos." The sister shook her head violently. "No, you don't understand. I was trying to protect." He cut her off sharply. "You were trying to control, like always." Hazel backed up more. "I didn't know. She told me. She said it was Blue's idea. She said, the brother finally looked at Hazel. "And you fell for it because you wanted clout more than dignity." Hazel burst into tears. "I didn't think. I just did what she said." The sister screamed, "Shut up. You're ruining everything." But the brother stepped closer. "No, you ruined everything. You almost cost this family more than drama this time." He turned to Chrisean. "You think I don't see what you've been dealing with? You think I don't know they push you on purpose? You think I don't know they poke at you just to get a reaction?" Chrisean didn't speak. She didn't move. She didn't even blink. He placed the phone on the bed. The screen kept playing the video on loop. The setup, the manipulation, the instructions, the sister bragging the plan to call CPS. The brother pointed at the evidence. This is enough to shut everything down, enough to clear your name, enough to destroy hers." The sister lunged for the phone. He blocked her with one arm. "You're done," he said coldly. She screamed, voice cracking. "You can't do this to me. I'm your sister." He didn't budge. "And you were ready to let CPS take your brother's kid to win an argument. Family doesn't do that." Hazel whispered. "She said the goal was to break her. She said if Chrisean hit me, everything would fall into place." The sister shouted, "You helped me!" "And you lied to me," Hazel shot back. "You said Blue wanted this. You said I'd get exposure. You said he liked me. You said..." "Why would you believe her?" the brother muttered. Hazel sobbed harder. "Because I needed the attention." The brother sighed sharply. "And that's why you were perfect bait." Then he turned back to Chrisean. "And you walked into the setup just like she expected. But this time, someone was watching who wasn't rooting for your downfall." Chrisean finally spoke. "You recorded this for me?" "No," he said honestly. "I recorded it to expose them." "But the timing lined up." The sister lunged again. "You can't show him that. You can't show Blueface. He'll kill me." The brother raised an eyebrow. "You should have thought about that before you tried to ruin his life." Hazel gasped. "You said Blue knew. You said he wanted this." The sister looked cornered. "Because he does. He hates her. He blames her. The brother cut her off. "You think you know how he feels? You think you can speak for him? You think manipulating his life is helping him? You're sick." She shook her head, desperate. "I was trying to save him from her. And you tried to destroy her child." The room fell silent again, heavy, still, choking. The sister looked around, panicking, her lies collapsing around her like a burning building. "Where is he?" she screamed. "Where's Blue? He needs to hear me." And the brother let out a dark, cold, humorless laugh. "Oh, he's been hearing you." He pointed toward the hallway. "He's the one who texted you." The sister's knees buckled completely. Hazel dropped her head, shaking. And Chrisean? Her chest tightened, because if Blueface was watching, if Blueface had the footage, if Blueface sent the messages, then the real confrontation was seconds away. Footsteps approached from the hallway. Slow, sharp, unhurried, deadly calm. And when Blueface appeared in the doorway, he wasn't smiling, he wasn't confused, he wasn't surprised, he was furious. Silent fury, a kind of rage that wasn't loud, it was cold, controlled, calculating. He looked straight at his sister and said, "You went too far." The sister collapsed into tears. "Blue, please, she's lying. They're lying. I was trying to help, I swear." He stepped closer, face unreadable. "You tried to take my son. She shook her head wildly. No, it wasn't like that. She's dangerous. She's unstable. He cut her off. She's the mother of my child. Those words hung in the air like a verdict. Hazel whispered, "She told me you hated her. She told me you wanted to hurt her." He didn't even look at Hazel. "I didn't tell her anything." The sister grabbed his shirt like a panicking child. "Please, I didn't mean for it to go this far. I didn't know you were recording. I didn't know." Blueface pulled her hand off him. "You're not sorry for what you did. You're sorry you got caught." Hazel backed into the corner. The sister sobbed. Chrisean stared at him, chest rising, eyes still cold. Blueface met her gaze. But instead of anger, there was something else. Guilt, real guilt, maybe for the first time ever. He said quietly, "Rock, I didn't know she was going to go after JR. I didn't know she was going to take it this far. I swear I didn't." But Chrisean didn't answer, because she knew the truth now. This wasn't about Hazel. This wasn't about jealousy. This wasn't even about Blueface. This was about power. Someone had tried to break her. Someone had tried to bait her. Someone had tried to ruin her life. And now the mask was off. But the biggest shock? Blueface wasn't the mastermind. The sister wasn't even the mastermind. There was someone above them. Someone who gave the sister confidence. Someone who manipulated the entire family. Someone who whispered the idea of CPS in her ear. Someone who wanted control over Blueface and JR. And Blueface knew exactly who it was. He looked into the hallway as another figure's shadow appeared. Someone the family feared. Someone with power. Someone who pulled strings. Someone who wanted Chrisean gone. And when that person stepped into the room, Chrisean's heart stopped, because the real mastermind was someone she never suspected. The shadow in the hallway stretched across the floor like a warning before the figure even stepped into the light. Hazel stiffened. The sister stopped crying. Blueface's posture changed, chest tightening, jaw locking, eyes narrowing. This wasn't a regular person. This wasn't a random family member. This wasn't someone who stumbled into the mess. This was someone who walked with purpose. Someone who walked like they owned the room. Someone who walked like they had come to collect a debt. Their footsteps were slow, controlled, rhythmically soft, almost rehearsed, like they had been waiting months, years for this moment. And when they finally stepped into the doorway, the entire room went still. Blueface's mother, Carlissa, the puppet master, her presence shifted the air instantly. Not emotional, not frantic, not wild like her usual internet persona. This version of Carlissa was cold, composed, prepared, calculated. And that was the most terrifying part. Hazel's hand flew to her mouth. The sister took a shaky step backward. The brother muttered, "Oh, hell no." Even Blueface looked like a child caught between two parents during a war he didn't choose. But Chrisean? She didn't move, didn't blink, didn't flinch. Her eyes narrowed, recognizing the shift in energy instantly. Because this was the real power behind everything. Carlissa looked around the room like she was surveying damage she caused, then finally locked eyes with her daughter, the sister who orchestrated the fake setup. "You really couldn't handle one job?" she asked coldly. The sister choked on her own breath. "Mom, I was trying to help." Carlissa raised one finger. One. And the sister went silent instantly. That's when Chrisean understood. The sister wasn't the mastermind. She was a soldier, following orders, acting out a plan that belonged to someone older, smarter, angrier, and far more dangerous. Carlissa stepped fully into the room. "Well," she said, voice perfectly calm. "Looks like the evidence made its way to the wrong people." She wasn't panicking. She wasn't apologizing. She wasn't shock acting. She was analyzing, calculating, adjusting her plan. Chrisean's friend whispered, "Oh my God, she knew." Hazel pointed a shaky finger at her. "You told her to put me in that bed. You said I'd get exposure. You said Blue wanted it. You made the plan." Carlissa didn't even look at Hazel. She simply said, "You were never important enough to be part of the plan. You were just a prop." Hazel's breath hitched, knees wobbling. Blueface finally snapped, Mom, what the hell did you do?" Carlissa turned to him, expression unfazed. "I did what I always do. I protected you." The brother exploded. "Protected? You tried to get Rock's kid taken." Carlissa's eyes sharpened. "Because that baby ruined everything." The entire room froze. Chrisean felt something rip open in her chest, a mixture of rage, heartbreak, and disbelief. "Say that again," she whispered. Carlissa stepped forward, completely unafraid. "That baby destroyed this family. It ruined your career. It ruined your reputation. It ruined your focus. And it tied you to someone who only brings you chaos." Chrisean took a step forward. "You wanted JR taken away?" Carlissa didn't blink. "Of course I did." BlueFace's jaw dropped. "Mom," Carlissa raised her hand to silence him. "You lost yourself in that girl. You lost your money, you lost control, you lost discipline, you lost me." Then she turned to Chrisean, eyes burning. "And I wasn't about to let my grandchild grow up in that mess." Hazel whispered, "You told us CPS would take him." "Yes," Carlissa said, "because that was the plan." Chrisean inhaled sharply, chest rising like a wave ready to crash. "You set me up." "No," Carlissa corrected. "I saved my son." BlueFace stepped forward. "By manipulating my sister into baiting Rock? By lying to Hazel? By setting up a fight? By trying to ruin her life?" Carlissa's voice rose, not in panic, in authority. "You think I care about those girls? I care about you." The brother spat. "You're sick. You need help." Carlissa's gaze snapped toward him. "I kept this family together while you all destroyed it." Then she turned back to Chrisean. "You were never supposed to be part of this family. You were a mistake from the start. A distraction, a liability, a threat." Chrisean stepped closer, face inches from hers. "And JR?" Carlissa's eyes flashed with pure, cold malice. "The biggest mistake of them all." BlueFace's breath left his body. The sister backed away. Hazel covered her mouth. The brother muttered, "She's gone crazy." But Carlissa smirked. "No, I'm the only one still sane. And I'm the only one willing to do what needs to be done." She turned to the sister. "You were supposed to provoke her enough to hit Hazel on camera. We send the footage, CPS steps in, they declare her unfit. JR gets placed into temporary custody. We step in as family, we take him. Case closed." Chrisean froze. "You wanted custody of my baby." Carlissa stepped forward confidently, smiling. "We still do." And that was it. That was the moment Chrisean Rock didn't just break, she transformed. The fear evaporated. The insecurity burned away. The confusion dissolved. All that remained was a fire so violent it made even Carlissa hesitate. Chrisean whispered, "You tried to take my child to punish him?" Carlissa shrugged. "To punish you." And then the real twist hit. A voice from behind them said, "She wasn't doing this alone." Everyone turned. A tall figure stepped into the room. Someone no one expected. Someone who kept quiet. Someone who always acted neutral. Someone who never picked sides. BlueFace's stepfather. Carlissa's husband. The man who rarely speaks publicly. The man who stays quiet during family fights. The man who lets Carlissa run everything. Except, he wasn't quiet now. He walked in and said, "She didn't tell you the whole truth. She wasn't trying to get custody for herself." Carlissa's eyes widened. "Don't." But he continued, "She was trying to get custody for Blueface." The room exploded with silence. Chrisean's friend whispered, "Oh my God." Hazel gasped. Blueface staggered backward. You tried to get me custody?" Carlissa nodded calmly. "Of course, you're the father. You deserve him more than she does." Chrisean felt her chest collapse. "You were using me," she said softly, "not to protect him, not to help him, but to take my child and give him to someone who couldn't even protect himself." Carlissa smiled triumphantly. "You finally understand." But the stepfather wasn't finished. "She wasn't just doing it for you, Blue. She was doing it so she could control the baby." The room froze again. Chrisean whispered, "Why?" the stepfather answered. Because once she had the baby, she could control you forever. Blueface blinked. What? Carlissa screamed. Stop talking. But it was too late. The truth poured out. She wanted JR under her roof, under her hand, under her rules. She wanted the power over you, over Rock, over the whole family. Blueface's voice cracked. You tried to use my son to manipulate me? Carlissa looked betrayed. He didn't understand. I was trying to save you. Blueface shook his head. No, you were trying to own me. And then, the final twist, the stepfather pointed toward Carlissa's purse. Check her bag. Blueface grabbed it. Carlissa lunged. Don't. But he opened it. Inside, a stack of printed CPS documents, pre-written statements, photos of Chrisean at her worst, screenshots, timestamps, Hazel's picture in the bed, instructions scribbled in Carlissa's handwriting, and one envelope labeled Emergency Custody Transfer, Blueface Family. Chrisean's legs almost gave out. The sister collapsed into a chair. The brother exhaled like he'd been stabbed. Hazel sobbed uncontrollably. Blueface stared at the papers like he was holding a bomb. And Carlissa? She whispered the final chilling sentence. Everything I did to separate you from her. Then she added with a smile, and nothing you say or do will stop me. But she was wrong, because someone had already stopped her. Blueface slowly raised his phone, showing the screen, showing her words, her plan, her confession, recorded, live, streaming, to an audience, to the world, to the police, to CPS, to everyone watching. Carlissa's face drained of color. You wouldn't dare. Blueface looked at her with cold finality. This time, I would. And the screen flashed. Live, 42,918 viewers watching. The internet already knew. And Carlissa was finished. When Blueface's phone went live, the reaction wasn't slow. It wasn't gradual. It wasn't subtle. It was instant. Like someone had dropped a nuclear bomb in the middle of social media, and every platform, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Reddit, Instagram, erupted at the same time. Comments pouring in so fast, the live chat froze, crashed, rebooted, then exploded again. The internet didn't just watch. It raged. It chose sides. It fought wars. It screamed louder than any courtroom ever could. Within minutes, hashtags were trending globally. Earn Carlissa exposed, Earn justice, for Chrisean not. The baby, Ear CPS as set up. Blueface family scandal, Ear Hazel played herself, Ear Rock was right, Ear family from hell. And the comments brutal, millions of them. One after another. She really tried to take that girl's baby. I'm sick. Carlissa needs to be in handcuffs. This is manipulation at the highest level I've ever seen. Hazel, girl, you got used like a rental. The brother is the real MVP for exposing this. I knew that woman hated Rock, but this? She tried to get custody by force? This is demonic. Now, this is a Lifetime movie for real. Blueface finally seeing his mom for who she really is. Lock her up. Lock her up. Chrisean was fighting demons and they were the demons. Even celebrities jumped in because this scandal wasn't small. It wasn't family drama. This was psychological warfare. This was betrayal at a level Hollywood couldn't script. And it spread fast. Cardi B tweeted, this the most evil setup I ever seen online. That girl ain't deserve this, PPL crazy, to be messing you a mom like that. Summer Walker posted on her story, this is why so many mothers break. This is emotional abuse at its highest level. Protect Rock. Moneybag. Yo commented, man, this wild. Trying to take somebody's kid is crazy. That ain't family. Erica Badu dropped a cryptic post. When masks fall, truth appears. Even Nicki Minaj posted a single emoji. Fans went insane. Then Zeus Network posted a vague but shady message. Somebody call our producers. This season just wrote itself. BlueFace's sister tried to save herself. Bad idea. She jumped on her IG story crying, screaming, "They lying on me. That video was edited. That ain't what I meant. Y'all don't understand." But fans ripped her apart instantly. Cry harder. You admitted it on camera. You ain't sorry you did it. You sorry you got caught. You tried to ruin a mother, and we saw you. Then Hazel-E tried to play victim too. She went live from her car, face swollen, voice trembling. "I didn't know what was happening, y'all. I swear. She used me. She told me Blue wanted me there. She set me up too." But no one believed her. "You were in the bed, Hazel. You smirked. You were enjoying it. You knew exactly why you were there. You were jealous, admit it. You wanted clout and got knocked out." Smokey from TMZ posted, "This is officially the wildest Hollywood scandal of the year. A mother plotting to get custody through manipulation. Insane." Meanwhile, CPS started trending organically because everyone was tagging them. "Y'all need to investigate the right person. This woman weaponized your organization. Protect Rock and her baby from this entire family." Lawyers on TikTok made videos breaking down Carlissa's crimes. "This is illegal, tampering, false reporting, fraud. This could lead to charges." Psychologists made 20-part breakdowns. "This isn't normal mother-in-law behavior. This is strategic narcissistic sabotage." Podcasters, bloggers, streamers, everyone started dissecting the video frame by frame. Some pointed out how calm Carlissa was. Some pointed out how scared Hazel suddenly became. Some pointed out how the sister immediately folded the second evidence appeared. Some pointed out how BlueFace's face changed when he realized the truth. The most viral tweet of the night said, "BlueFace thought Rock was the problem, but the real problem was living inside his house the whole time." Another said, "Carlissa is the final boss." And another, "Imagine keeping your baby safe from strangers just to find out the real threat was the grandmother." Even rappers who never speak on drama commented, "YG, that ain't it. That ain't it at all." Sukihana, "I'd fight my man's mom for way less." Lil Durk, "Shorty strong, real strong. That pain different." Jason Lee, "This is the scandal of the year, and it ain't even close." Fan pages started dropping edits of Carlissa's confession, slowed down, remixed, captioned, subtitled, auto-tuned, everywhere. One fan wrote, "She didn't want to save Blue. She wanted to control him." And that's when the narrative shifted. This wasn't about protecting Blue. This wasn't about family drama. This wasn't even about custody. This was about power. Carlissa wanted to control her son. She wanted to control JR. She wanted to control every woman in his life. She wanted to be the queen of the family, the ruler, the voice, the authority, the mastermind. And now everyone saw it. Crystal clear. This wasn't motherly love. This was obsession. This was control. This was sabotage. People dug up old clips of Carlissa talking about JR, clips where she was cold, clips where she questioned his paternity, clips where she mocked Chrisean's motherhood, clips where she threatened to step in. And suddenly, everything made sense. Fans connected the dots. She'd been plotting since day one. Everything she did leads to this moment. She's been preparing this custody plot for months. She didn't want Rock in the family because she couldn't control her. This woman is dangerous. Then a journalist from Shade Room posted, "Sources confirm law enforcement is reviewing the live stream." The comments exploded. "Lock her up today. She's a threat to that child. Put restraining orders on the entire family. Rock and JR deserve peace." People launched petitions. Within hours, 200K signatures, then 500K, then 1 million, demanding protection for Chrisean, demanding CPS investigate the mother, not Rock, demanding BlueFace issue a public apology, demanding an inquiry into the entire family. Fans even attacked BlueFace. "You let your mom do this? You stood by while she plotted? You didn't protect Rock or JR? You soft. You weak. You complicit." But others defended him. He didn't know. He exposed her. He put her live. He finally picked the right side. He's trying to fix it. The division was real, but the chaos wasn't over. The internet found a new detail. The camera angle in the leaked video wasn't from a phone. It wasn't shaky, it wasn't handheld, it was mounted, hidden, permanent, meaning someone had installed it long before tonight, meaning the house was being monitored, meaning this wasn't spontaneous revenge. Someone was collecting evidence for weeks. And the biggest question that spread across every platform like wildfire: if this wasn't Blueface and it wasn't the brother, who installed the hidden camera? The comments went insane. Rock has a guardian angel. Someone in that house wants the truth out. Someone been spying on Carlissa. This is deeper than we think. There's another player we don't know. And that mystery became the new obsession. People started digging. Theories started forming. Names started trending. Because the real twist wasn't the footage, it wasn't the sister, it wasn't Hazel, it wasn't even Carlissa. The real twist was this: someone else wanted Carlissa destroyed, someone else recorded her, someone else planned ahead, someone else leaked the footage at the perfect time, someone who knew everything and was waiting for their moment to strike. And the internet wanted one answer: who is the secret recorder? The internet was still burning when the real storm started forming. Quietly, silently, underneath the noise. Bloggers were arguing, fans were fighting, celebrities were reacting, but no one knew that something way bigger was about to drop. Because the truth wasn't just that Carlissa got exposed, the truth was that she wasn't exposed by accident. Someone wanted her downfall, someone planned it, someone waited, someone studied her patterns, someone watched every move she made, someone documented every moment she manipulated, plotted, and planted chaos. Someone who knew her better than the family did, someone who had access to the house, someone who had keys, someone who had reason to hide cameras, someone who had nothing to lose and everything to gain. Blueface's mom tried to regain control. She tried to speak. "Everyone stop. This footage is fake. Someone's trying to set me up. This is Rock's doing." But no one moved. Blueface stared at her like he was seeing her for the first time. The sister looked terrified. Hazel was still shaking. The brother crossed his arms, watching every flicker of panic move across Carlissa's face. And then another phone buzzed. Everyone turned. It wasn't the sisters, it wasn't Hazel's, it wasn't the brothers, it wasn't Blueface's. It was Carlissa's phone, a new message, with a video link, anonymous sender, no contact name, no profile picture, just one sentence. "You didn't think that was the only footage, did you?" Carlissa froze. Blueface snatched the phone and clicked. A second video began playing. This one was darker, clearer, angled perfectly at the kitchen table. In it, Carlissa sat with someone opposite her, someone hidden by a hoodie, someone recording her while pretending to take notes, someone she didn't suspect for 1 second. Her voice in the video was sharp. "We need to get rid of her. That girl is ruining my son. I want custody in our name. Make it happen." The camera zoomed subtly. The person holding it knew exactly what they were doing. They weren't scared. They weren't shaky. They weren't confused. They were comfortable, confident, prepared. The voice behind the camera, calm, steady, responded, "You want me to push your daughter into doing it?" Carlissa nodded. "Yes, she's dumb enough to follow instructions. Hazel's insecure enough to be bait. I just need Rock to snap on camera. After that, CPS will do the rest." The family gasped. Blueface's mouth fell open. The brother whispered, "Holy fuck." Hazel burst into tears. The sister shook her head violently, panicking. "Mom, you told me this was your idea. You never said someone else was involved." Carlissa didn't blink, because she didn't have time. A third message appeared instantly. "Ready to see who helped her." Carlissa screamed, "Stop, stop, don't play it." Too late, the video played, and the hooded figure finally lifted their head. The room froze. Blueface nearly dropped the phone. Hazel screamed. The sister covered her mouth. Even Chrisean stepped back. Because the person behind the hidden cameras, the person gathering evidence, the person feeding the sister lines, the person manipulating Hazel, the person recording behind the scenes, the person Carlissa trusted, the person who orchestrated half the drama, the person who had the most to gain from ripping Chrisean out of Blueface's life. was Blueface's father, the biological father, the man who vanished when Blueface was younger, the man who returned pretending to fix things, the man who always hated the mother, the man who always believed Rock had too much influence, the man who never wanted Carlissa in control, the man who never liked Rock, never liked Blueface's choices, and always wanted power. He smirked into the hidden camera, not nervous, not scared, not shocked. He looked directly at Carlissa and said, "If she can't control him, you will." Carlissa's scream shattered the room. "You set me up! You set me up!" Blueface stumbled back like he'd been punched in the chest. You worked with him?" he whispered. "You worked with my dad behind my back?" Carlissa collapsed onto the floor, shaking uncontrollably. No, Blue. Listen, it wasn't like that. He tricked me. He said it would help you. He said..." Blueface snapped. "You teamed up with the man who abandoned us? With the man you said was the devil? With the man you warned us about?" Carlissa sobbed. "I did it for you." "No," Blueface said, voice icy cold. "You did it for you." Chrisean didn't say a word. She didn't need to, because the truth was finally undeniable. This wasn't just a mother-in-law feud. This wasn't just a family fight. This wasn't even just about Hazel. This was a full-scale operation built on manipulation, jealousy, power, control, and revenge. Blueface's father walked into the room next, in real time, leaning against the doorframe with a smugness that made everyone's skin crawl. "So," he said, smiling, "you finally saw the footage." Blueface's face twisted in rage. Why? Why would you do this?" His father shrugged casually. "Because I wanted my son back, and he pointed at Chrisean, was in the way." Chrisean's fist tightened. "You wanted my baby taken." His father smiled. "I wanted you out of the picture. Once CPS stepped in, once she fell apart, once the court got involved, my son would come home, back to his real family, back under real guidance." Blueface trembled with fury. "You tried to steal my son by using my son." His father nodded proudly. "Sometimes you have to break something to fix it." The room went silent. Blueface's face hardened. "You're insane," his father smirked. "And you're weak. That girl turned you soft. Your mother saw it. I saw it. And we worked together until she got sloppy." Carlissa screamed, "Don't blame this on me." But he smiled wider. "Who said I'm blaming you? I'm just done covering for you." And then the final cliffhanger hit. He held up his phone and said, "You think that live stream was the end? That was nothing." He tapped his screen. A progress bar appeared. "Uploading." Blueface's voice cracked. "What is that?" His father said calmly, "Every conversation, every recording, every setup, every lie, every moment, everything she did, everything you did." Hazel gasped. The sister collapsed. Chrisean felt her chest tighten. The brother whispered, "Oh God." Blueface stepped forward. "Turn it off." His father smiled. Too late. Uploading. 83%. He whispered, "When this hits the internet, your entire life ends." The screen hit 100%, and the video went live to millions. Fade to black. If you're still here after that ending, after watching a father betray his own son, after seeing a mother collapse under her own lies, after witnessing Hazel get played like a pawn, after seeing the sister break down, after watching the live stream hit millions, after everything that was exposed, uploaded, leaked, and weaponized, then you already know this story isn't just messy, it's historic. This isn't a scandal, this is a war, a complete family implosion playing out in real time, with evidence dropping faster than anyone can process. And if you felt that chill when the screen hit, upload in 100%, trust me, you're not alone. So now the big questions begin. What was in that upload? How deep does the sabotage go? What else has been recorded? What part of Blueface's past is about to get dragged into the light? How much did the father hide? How many people were involved? And most importantly, What is Chrisean going to do when she finds out her baby was targeted by two sides of the same broken family? Because you could feel it the moment she realized the truth, the moment her eyes changed, the moment her breathing slowed, the moment her silence became more dangerous than any punch she's ever thrown. This isn't just survival anymore. This is war. And you, yes, you watching, are part of this now. So right now, I need every single person in the comments dropping your theory. Do not hold back. Don't play it safe. Don't sugarcoat it. I want raw predictions. Do you think BlueFace's father leaked everything to destroy Carlissa, or to destroy Rock, or to control BlueFace, or is he planning something even darker? Do you think the sister and Hazel are going to flip sides now that they've been exposed? Do you think Carlissa is done? Or is she going to snap back harder than ever? And what about BlueFace? Will he stand with Rock for the first time? Or will he spiral from the pressure of both parents betraying him in front of the world? And the biggest question of all, what happens to JR now that the entire world has seen this plot against him? Drop your theory below. Long comments, short comments, wild comments, everything counts. The more you comment, the more people see the video, and the deeper this investigation goes. Hit like. Right now, if you think Chrisean deserves justice after everything this family tried to do behind her back. Hit like if you felt that shock run down your spine when the real mastermind walked in. Hit like if you literally froze when that upload bar hit 100%. And if you haven't already, subscribe, turn on all notifications, not some, not personalized, all. Because this story is not slowing down. More leaks are coming, more receipts are coming, more betrayals are coming, more footage is going to surface. And when that next video drops, when the next confession hits, when the next recording is leaked, I'm posting it here first. No delays, no holding back, no skipping details. We're covering every second of this meltdown until the final truth comes out. Comment your theories, like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because the secret recordings weren't the end, they were the beginning, and the next leak is going to change everything. Stay ready, this story is nowhere near finished.